Hi, Shabbat Shalom. This week it is Parshat Tavo. My baby daughter wants to wish you all a Shabbat Shalom. To get Shabbat Shalom?
Shalom.
Yes, it's actually, we're talking all about firsts in today's... Ken, and we're talking all about firsts, the idea of Bechor in this week's Parsha. Actually, interestingly enough, we're talking about firsts. It's my daughter's first day in kindergarten today. So how appropriate that Parshat Tavo is introducing all within regards to the firsts. So what we're talking about here, friends, today, we know in this week's Parsha, it's relating over the mitzvah of Bikurim. What is Bikurim? It is where we take our first produce from the fields within regards to the Shivat Minim, and we bring it to the Mt Aival, to the place where the altar was standing and the temple itself. That's where the first fruits and everything else. And we see this idea of firsts all throughout the Torah, friends. We see it. Ken, you can eat it now. Yes, she wants to have a first cookie of the day, so talking about first, she's going to have it now. Okay, so what we're talking about here, you bring the first fruits of the Shivat Minim inside a specific basket and bring it to the Beit Hamikdash, usually during the Shalosh Reglim, during Pesach, Sukkot, and Shavuot. That's what's relating over. But this idea of firsts, of anything that we've got, is spoken about in the book, the Pele Yoetz, which is actually written by Rabbi Eliezer Papo, who was actually born in the old Yugoslavia, in Bosnia, respectively, a few hundred years back. He relates over a whole topic he dedicates inside his encyclopedia within regards to the Bechor inside the Torah. So friends, what we're talking about here, we see that whenever the firsts is something special within regards to the relationship of Hashem and Am Yisrael and the humanity and everything else. How do we see this? We see this, first of all, the dinim of a Bechor. The Bechor, the firstborn rights. They get many firstborn rights, however, many firstborn privileges, however, responsibilities also that fall upon a firstborn. There's many laws, halachot, Jewish laws, within regards to the topic of a firstborn. That's one thing that should be stated over from the outset. We see the whole big deal of the firstborn status within regards to Jacob and Esau in Parshat Toldot, when Esau sold his firstborn rights to Yaakov Avinu, respectively, as we learn all over because of the Adashim. Where else, friends, do we see this idea of a firstborn? We see it also within regards to if a married couple, the woman would naturally have a baby, and it's not from a Kohen or a Laivi, and it wasn't through a cesarean birth, and other parameters also have to be looked into. Then, if it's a firstborn born to the couple is a male, then it would potentially have a pidyan ben ceremony to it. A redeeming of the firstborn, it is translated to in English. Where else do we see first? The Reshita Gez, the first shearing of the wool, is given as a present to the Kohen. When we are baking a dough and challah, there's the first baking, the first dough which you give away, you separate also, which is related over. So this idea of first, everything is more dear to Hashem in a way and everything else. And that's what we should do also. If we see something that is, because why is this? Because whenever one is growing something or one is achieving something, whatever it is, the first result, the first day has something special to the heart of a person automatically. And that's the same with Hashem. The first of everything is dear to Hashem. That's why he gives it to the priests, to the Kohen potentially, many of the things in the Beit Hamikdash and everything else. And that's what we should try to be, is to be the first in everything. And there's an idea also in, it's actually related over by many of the commentaries, that when one is coming to Shacharit's minyan, one is coming to the Beit Knesset, one should try and be the first in the Beit Knesset, to show everyone else, lead by example, as it is, not to be a late person, not to be necessarily a bad neighbor and show up late, to try and be the first, try and be in the first 10 in the quorum of a minyan. Whenever there's a minyan inside the Beit Knesset, to try and be the first 10 over there. So that striving for this firstness is very, very important in Judaism, very important inside the Torah and everything else. And that's a thing. To be the first of something is always to be. And also, one could say that, okay, one cannot be the first of something, one cannot be the best of everything, but one should be the first best potential of oneself. So we'd ask at Me'aveh when a person would, God forbid, pass away, they would ask, not why weren't you Moshe Rabbeinu, why weren't you Moses, they will ask you, why weren't you you? So for example, if the name is Keith or Peter or anything else, why weren't you Peter? Why weren't you Keith? Why weren't you David? Why weren't you Elliot? Whatever it be. That's what Hashem is going to ask, not why weren't you Moses. So we've all got the best of our abilities and everything else, and we should strive to become the best versions, the first versions of ourselves potentially. Guys, I'm going to wish you all a fantastic Shabbat. Sorry about the noise in the background. There's a lot of work. I'll leave you some of the scenes of this beautiful garden here where I'm at. And you can see over here the swing and the slides. You want to tell everyone Shabbat Shalom?
Shalom.
Yeah, that's my daughter, first day in Gun. I'm wishing you a fantastic Shabbat and enjoy.